Mazda is sitting us a 2024 MX-5 sports car to drive, also known as the Miata. The base price has gone up from $29,000 to $30,000 for 2024, with $40,000 for the top of the line model. Plus there's a special Brembo brake package for another $5,000. So the price can really climb up. So let's take a look and see what one we got. Ooh, the Grand Touring. That's the big bucks one. Almost everything is standard, as you can see from the long list, which is too long to show you here. The video will be way too long. And here's the fee. And again, a reminder, the price can still climb way over $40,000 to around $45,000, I'm told is the top, absolutely max. So I guess we have to consider this the mid-priced. Fortunately, it is made 100% in Japan with Japanese parts, Japanese workers, and Japanese factory. Just like the good old days. And all Japanese cars are made over there. And that little 2-liter engine putting out 181 horsepower. So as to squeeze out this much economy, 2634 with an average of 29. We'll take this out in the real world and see if that's true. By the way, the automatic transmissions rate 26 to 35 with an average of 29, so there's not that much difference. So here it is, a very nice looking vehicle. There are a few changes for 2024, an improved steering system, something they did with the locking differentials, but nothing major, no major changes. Doesn't really need too much. Well, the first things we do, we get a vehicle and check to see what brand of tires they're giving us, because a lot of manufacturers are putting garbage on to save money, but these are Bridgestones. Japanese tire for a Japanese car, makes sense to me. Second thing we do is check and see if there's a spare tire. Come on, you think there's a spare tire in that tiny little trunk? Just a tiny little tire repair kit, and this big yellow thing is my super duper tire repair kit. I come prepared. And for 2024, they have a new set of LED headlights. Are they any good? Well, we did a night video headlight test. We posted that on YouTube. I have a link for that video at the end of this video. Go to the end, click and watch. You're already here, you might as well watch both videos, right? The base Mazda MX-5, or Miata as they're called, off the books. Comes with a soft top just like this, more than adequate for general sports car duties. And the rear window is real glass, not that soft plastic garbage they used to put on sports cars many years ago that crumbled and rotted. However, Mazda does make a solid retractable roof. It's not cheap at $38,000 base, but if you can afford it, I say get it. It makes a big difference in driving characteristics. Eliminates all the wind noise that comes in this area here, especially on freeway driving. If you do a lot of freeway driving, that's definitely the roof to get. But the soft top will do for general sports car duties, and it's far cheaper to buy too. Before we continue, let me give you some tips when buying this or any other little sports car with a soft roof or retractable roof. Do not buy one with black interior and black seats. Just don't do it. You're going to regret it. Put that top down, the sun hits the seats, your butt's going to roast like bacon in a frying pan. Thank goodness they sent me one with tan seats, because temperature all week is going to be like 115 degrees. Fortunately, it's not that hot today. Tan interior makes a big difference. Definitely easier to live with. If you want to sell it and get better resale value, this is what people who know what's going on look for over a black interior. Same if you get the solid retractable roof. Yeah, it's more expensive, but resale value, they're very hard to find on the used market, and people snap them up in a hurry when they can find one. Plenty of soft tops around, not too many hard tops. As you can see, I have a lot of junk in here because there's no room in a vehicle like this. No glove box. A tiny little storage container here, maybe for a pack of cigarettes. And a lockable one between the seats. Pretty decent room in there. I cannot stand electronic parking brakes. Thank goodness Mazda does not put that garbage in the sports car. Get a nice manual brake. Yeah, it takes up room. Manual is still better than electronic on any vehicle. I'll take this, thank you. Well, the simplest climate controls on the planet. 3 knobs. Doesn't get better than that. I wish all cars were like this with their climate system. So simple even Brandon could use it. Yeah, the info screen is tiny, but it's a tiny car, so live with it. Here are the controls for it. Put the volume on for the radio, which you really can't hear freeway speeds with all the wind running in through the windows, unless you get the hard top. And with this knob, you can disconnect all those idiotic safety features that aren't really safe. Make the car more dangerous to drive, in my opinion. Your choice. You get a very nice gauge cluster. Not much glare reflecting off the gauges, that's good. Before we start driving, let's talk about transmissions. The base gearbox in this is a 6-speed manual. Optional is the 6-speed automatic. Back in the old days, if you want performance, you got the manual transmission. They were quicker, got better fuel economy. The automatics were just dead. Nowadays, with computer control technology, it's pretty much the opposite as a rule. Automatics are quicker, get better fuel economy. The manuals are just pathetic. They slow the car down. The economy goes straight down the toilet, as low as 20%. That's especially true if you have a high-performance, big cube turbo engine. If you're getting like a Dodge Hellcat, a Toyota Supra, or a BMW M2, and you don't get the 8-speed automatic, you get the 6-speed manual, your performance will go straight down the toilet. Bad idea. Fortunately, in the case of the Mazda MX-5, this is an excellent exception to the rule. This little 2-liter motor loves to spin at high RPM, as you can see. Around a 7,500 RPM red line. Just begging for a manual gearbox to help it along. And this slick 6-speed manual gearbox is begging for a nice high RPM engine like that to help it move along. If you love shifting a manual transmission, this combination works quite well. The acceleration between this and the automatic are pretty close. Fuel economy is almost identical. And this puts driving back in the fun spot again, if you like a manual gearbox. On the racetrack, the automatic with pedal shifters has a slight advantage when taking corners, but overall, it doesn't matter where you get the manual transmission or the automatic, both perform quite well in this Mazda. And if you get this manual, you're not losing anything. A very good choice. So enough of show and tell, let's take this out and do some driving. First thing we're going to do is take it out on the freeway, get some fuel economy numbers, then take it up to the mountains and drive it the way it's meant to be. Let's take this MX-5 on a highway trip. See what type of fuel economy we get. If you're driving the MX-5 on the expressway, keeping speed 60 miles per hour or below, it's reasonably quiet. But on the interstate, when you're doing like 75 miles per hour, maybe a wee bit more, you better bring your earplugs. There's a lot of wind noise coming through these windows, like sitting in a hurricane. As far as listening to the radio, forget it. I'm not really registering that as a complaint, because after all, when you have a soft-top sports car, that's just the way it is. And who's going to take a long trip in a car like this anyway? You got no luggage room. It's designed for short trips only, a pleasure drive, not going from Los Angeles to New York. Although I guess some people have. And by the way, it's 112 degrees outside, according to our little thermometer. This air conditioning is doing a great job of cooling off the cabin. At 75 miles per hour, running around 3,100 RPM. On the 6-speed manual version, anyway. Don't know about the 6-speed automatic. For those interested in such things. I know if you keep the cruise control at 75 miles per hour, you can get around 40 mpg. In this case, I was shifting a lot more than I should have been, doing passing a lot more than I should have been, driving a bit harder than I should have been, and dropped down to 37.1. Still a good number, though. Let's do some mountain curve driving, and I'm going to put the top down. Or is it the top up? I forget which way we call that. Anyhow, the top's not going to be over my head. So let's do it. Without the top over my head, the wind noise is reasonably low. Of course, we're traveling 30 to 50 miles per hour. On freeway speeds, might be a little bit different. As far as taking corners, the MX-5 is one of the better cars on the planet, mainly because of its excellent weight distribution. The brakes are excellent. You get the Brimble package, even more so. Mazda says the steering has been improved for 2024, but frankly I don't see much difference. In fact, the only difference I might see is the steering seems a bit more rubbery than it used to be, but overall it's still excellent, so I'm not going to complain. On roads like this, you get good use of a 6-speed manual transmission, but same can be said if you have the automatic with the paddle shifters on the steering wheel as well. Both work quite well. And on nasty pavement, this car does bounce around a bit. Gotta hang on to that steering wheel. And these headlights are working quite well. If you want to see the full road test and night drive and headlight test, you need to see my night drive video. Link for that is coming up at the end of this video. And one thing I like about this Mazda, it only takes a few seconds to put the top up or down. It's done manually. Please, Mazda, don't ever put a motorized top on here. I think the hard top might be motorized. That's a different story, but on the soft top, you definitely don't need it. So what's my take on this Mazda MX-5 Miata after a week of driving? Well, for 31 grand base, it's definitely a bargain for a true sports car. Can't find one much cheaper. If you go in fully loaded up near the 40 grand mark, yeah, it's kind of high, but remember, if it's totally made in Japan, the quality is high and definitely worth the extra price. Now the question is, are these new LED headlights better than the previous ones? To find out, we did a headlight test night drive video, and that link is coming up right now. Just click and watch. You're already here. Watch both videos.